Good evening, I'm Fana Shea and you're tuning into AWANI tonight. Major coalitions announced their GE15 candidates. More on that coming up. It is an action-packed night for political observers as two major coalitions announced their respective candidates for GE15 tonight. To discuss the highlights of the announcement with me is Hafiz Marzuki. Now, Hafiz, what can you share about the Barisan's announced candidates so far?
Well, Farhana, I can only give you half of the report as I am actually listening, still listening. But what I can share with you is incumbents are dropping like flies. Among the big names are, of course, the Arau incumbent, Datuk Seri Shahidan Kasim. He has to make way for a new face in Arau for Barisan Nasional. And also the Ketere Member of Parliament, who is also the caretaker Multimedia and Communications Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa. But right now, as I'm listening to Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi's announcement, he has announced thus far, as of now, up till the Pahang candidates. So, of course, I would say the view that I could share or the insights that I could give as of this moment has yet to give a full picture of the extent of Barisan Nasional's candidates. But, of course, here in Astro AWANI, we'll be continuing our ongoing analysis of the lineups. And of course, we'll be talking to experts who are actually looking. But things are looking very interesting, especially for Barisan Nasional, because other than what's already announced about incumbents dropping, but we also see big names being moved from their what is termed as safe seats. For example, Khairi Jamaluddin. As you know, he is the incumbent member MP of Rembau. He's now being moved to Sungai Buloh, judging from where he is sitting right now at the Barisan Nasional candidates announcement. But I would love to talk to you more about this, but we have to wait until the announcement actually complete the whole 222 candidates. Fana.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more for us to look out for. So Hafiz, there are also other parties as well who announced their candidates. For example, Warisan. What do you make of their announcement?
Other than Warisan, actually, right now, tonight is such an action-packed night because Perikatan Nasional is also announcing their candidates tonight. But we are still listening for any big names that stood up from this particular announcement. But as far as Warisan is concerned, Farhana, we could see that there are a number of political, I would say, stalwarts, people who actually left the political scene for a couple of years, are now being named as part of their Warisan's lineup. To what extent, whether they could actually garner the support of the people. For example, Ong Tiket, the former MCA president, former transport minister, he is contesting in Pandan, what used to be his seat back in, before 2013. And now he's recontesting. So, it remains to be seen. But of course, we are in for a very, very interesting election season here in Malaysia, Memilih. Farhana.
All right, thank you, Hafiz, for the latest on BN and PN. And like Hafiz said, situations are developing right now. So we will be looking into, the full list of candidates soon. We want to discuss this further. So let's get our political analyst, Mujibu Abdul Muiz, on the line right now. Hi, Mujibu, can you hear us?
Hi, Farhana.
Hi, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Major announcements tonight, still ongoing, so we don't get the full picture yet, but we still would like to discuss, some of the names that have been dropped. So, Mujibu, how do you think the lineup currently right now would impact BN's chances in the GE15?
Yes, basically we are still listening to the complete lineup that now is going on in WTC and is still announced by the president of party. But somehow, from what I have been followed in the earlier part of the announcement, I think it is a very good plan on Barisan Nasional, by keeping the youngsters. And I see this thing as a call for what they have done in Melaka and Johor, to see that this new breed of politician, to the extent that what President just said just now, they are looking for a fit, fresh and fast YBs, by lining up a new youth people like Parliament Taiping. There is a Neo Chu Seng, is a very good candidate have been put there by the MCA. Although there are some shocking announcement as well when Leo Tiong Lai is making a comeback in Bentong. And of course, the chief of Putri, the chief of youth, is also giving a very safe seat. And of course, calling this as a safe seat for UMNO maybe need to be followed closely, simply because we know that there is a backlash happen for the warlord that controlling this particular area. And of course, the expected dropout like Arau, Ketere, and Pasir Salak definitely will be need to be closely watched by us as a political analyst. But overall, I will simply say that this lineup will definitely give a good blend for Barisan Nasional. And of course, we would like to see whether it is up to the par with other coalition as well.
Okay, Muji, we're talking about other coalition here. Perikatan is also announcing some of their lineup right now. Do you think they will be able to win a significant block in Parliament?
Well, definitely, because Perikatan Nasional also combining a very experienced party like Gerakan, PAS, as well as Bersatu to anchor this particular coalition. And of course, when you are talking about PAS, they're definitely going to wrestle some seats, especially in the Malay belt like Kelantan, Kedah, and Terengganu. And of course, we try to look whether Gerakan still able to give some good challenge to the Chinese or the mixed majority seat, especially we are talking about Perak, Penang, and maybe Kuala Lumpur. And of course, Perikatan Nasional in his stronghold Johor. Whether they can give a good fight with UMNO in this particular set. Overall, we will say that, they are going to give a very good fight to others, and let us see whether this is also giving them a better chances to win a seat.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going to look out for this particular GE15, and we're excited to see the lineup that's going to be complete hopefully by tonight. So moving on. Former MCA President Tan Sri Ong Tee Kiat will contest in the Pandan seat under the Warisan banner. Ong, who officially joined the Sabah-based party today, is among the 26 Warisan candidates that will be contesting parliamentary seats in West Malaysia in GE15.
Ong has served as MP in Pandan for 2 terms from 2004 to 2013 under MCA. At a press conference, the former Transport Minister said he decided to return to politics after a 5-year hiatus due to the political turmoil in the country and after being urged by Warisan President Datuk Sri Shafie Apdal. Shafie also announced that former DAP and PKR man Wee Choo Keong will be contesting the Wangsa Maju seat. Wee was the Bukit Bintang MP for DAP from 1990 to 2004 and PKR's Wangsa Maju MP from 2008 to 2013.
Meanwhile, Rafizi Ramli believes the most likely configuration for Pakatan Harapan to form a government post-election would involve coalitions from Sabah and Sarawak. The PKR Deputy President also denied that there is any attempt for his party to work with UMNO. Citing PKR's research on voters, he said PH can win at least 90 parliamentary seats in the peninsula and even inch towards 100 seats, as long as they can maintain the current momentum. And if there were to be a need to form a unity federal government, he said PH would reach out to Gabungan Rakyat Sabah GRS or Gabungan Parti Sarawak GPS, ruling out alliances with Gerakan Tanah Air, BN or Perikatan Nasional. Rafizi also denounced any negotiations between PH Chairman Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and UMNO leaders to form an alliance. This comes amid speculation of secret talks between the PKR president and his UMNO counterpart Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to form a joint government after the elections. Now, leading up to GE15, 5 media organisations, Astro AWANI, Sinar Harian, Sinchu Daily, The Star and Malaysian Nanban have partnered on a data sharing initiative to get a pulse of the rakyat in the coming general elections. 3 studies have been undertaken under this initiative to find out what Malaysians want. Saraya Mia joins us now with findings on Prime Minister candidates. What do you have for us, Saraya?
Yes, Farhana, the studies are conducted by 3 organizations, O2, Ilham Center, and Hua Yan Institute. Now let's take a deep dive into the questions posed to respondents in all the 3 surveys. Who is your preferred Prime Minister candidate? As we can see here, at 29%, they chose Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim as the preferred candidate. And then at number 2, 13% of the respondents of the O2 survey has chosen to see the current Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, as the next Prime Minister. Now, of course, I forgot to mention, there were about 1,100 respondents from around the country who actually answered these surveys. Now we are going into number 3 at 9%, the Health Minister, Khairi Jamaluddin, followed by 9% as well, Datuk Sri Utama Muhammad bin Hassan or Tok Mat. Now moving on. All right, so the next slide, we are going to have a look. According to the voter base, BN supporters preferred Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri as PM, followed closely by Tok Mat, right here at 27%. Now, 68% of the PH supporters, meanwhile, want Anwar Ibrahim as their chosen Prime Minister. And interestingly here, when Muda voters were asked who their PM candidates are, Pematang Pauh MP Nurul Izzah here at 27%, followed by KJ or Khairi Jamaluddin here at 24%, and Rafizi Ramli at 16%, clearly showing their preference towards a younger candidate. Now moving on to the next slide, we have still on the O2 survey taking a closer look at PN supporters. 28% actually want to see the past president, Tan Sri Abdul Hadi Awang, as PM, followed by 24% Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob at 19%. And here over in Sarawak, Gabungan Parti Sarawak chose 33% chose Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob as their preference. So that's all for the O2 report. Moving on to the Hua Yan Institute report. Here we are. Okay, so this report actually focuses on the Chinese political sentiment towards GE15. Very interesting here because all current and former PMs are rejected by the Chinese voters, and they want someone else to be PM after GE15. According to the respondents, Anwar, Khairi, Nurul Izzah, and Rafizi tops the list as preferred PM candidate. And as we can see here, Khairi Jamaluddin is the only one from UMNO who is actually chosen as the Prime Minister candidates among the Chinese voters. Now lastly, let's take a look here. The data from Ilham Center. So the results are as here, as shown in the survey. 19% actually chose, 90% of the 1,600 respondents actually want Ismail Sabri to stay on as PM after GE15, while we can see here Muhyiddin Yassin at 13% and Najib Razak and Anwar Ibrahim both equally at 11% at third and fourth. What's also interesting, as we can see, 21% do not care. They said they do not care about who is the next PM. So another notable finding from this survey, as we move on to this next slide over here, Najib appears to be popular among the land settlement schemes like Felda right here. And we can also see that Anwar Ibrahim is more popular amongst the urban, Chinese and Indian voters. And according to the data here, Muhyiddin stands out amongst the 21 to 29-year-old voters. So Farhana, keeping in mind that all the 3 surveys were conducted up till October this year, so there might be changes in sentiments as campaigning ramps up over the next 2 weeks. So stay tuned. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mia, for the insights. The heat is on. Just 18 more days till election. In anticipation, we will be featuring Question of the Day to get your thoughts on the political scene in Malaysia. Today, share with us Do you want more new faces in Parliament as MPs? To share your thoughts, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen. For more, head over to undi.astroawani.com to answer these daily questions. Don't forget to exercise your right to vote this G15. I'm Fana Shea. Thank you for watching.